Job growth has slowed in Minnesota. The most recent unemployment data reveals the economic pain caused by the pandemic. However, there are some encouraging signs. Take, for example, unemployment rates in Brooklyn Center, Crystal, Maple Grove, and Plymouth. Unemployment peaked in May with rates ranging from 7.9% in Plymouth to 13.5% in Brooklyn Center. In November, those local cities range from 3% to 6.5%. And as Sonia Goins reports, job fairs are now trying to reach people out of work through new virtual options.
Searching for a job during a global pandemic is challenging. However, Hennepin Technical College is trying to change that.
Students and employers are trying to figure out when is it safe for me to look for a new job?
The Brooklyn Park College is sponsoring a virtual job fair for students and the community. The event is February 4th, but you need to upload your resume ahead of time.
Our employers, through this Career Eco portal that we're using, or this third-party software that we're running the career fair through, can search for candidates, but only if the students have their materials ready and visible.
The software allows job seekers and employers to connect like they're doing a face-to-face interview.
There is a live video feature, but it's a webinar-like format, where if your video is live as a student, you can see the employer and you can kind of chat back and forth.
About 50 companies are taking part in the job fair. Career coordinator Stephen Harper says there are some things you can do to stand out. Besides networking with people in your field, he suggests having a 30-second elevator speech to promote yourself.
Thinking about what skills do you have, and then where would you like to go in your future career?
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Hennepin County libraries are joining a growing number of library systems eliminating late fees for books, movies, and music. The county automatically extended all due dates because of the pandemic. But before the pandemic, if a person accumulated more than $10 in fees, they were no longer able to check out materials. Now the county is going fine-free, saying not having fines will reduce economic barriers for patrons.
We have actually been in the process of removing barriers to access for our patrons for quite some time. We've removed any barrier to accessing a public computer, so you can access a public computer no matter what your library card record says. And we also had auto renewal. We also don't charge for replacement library card fees. So this is just one of our many steps in removing a barrier to patrons in accessing our collection.
Library staff say the amount of late fees is only a small portion of the system's budget. The Hennepin County Board is still figuring out the details on how they will handle current overdue balances. There are plans for an addition at Rice Lake Elementary School in Maple Grove to accommodate the growing student body. When the school shifts to in-person learning, the district says the building will serve more students than it was built to hold. So an expansion project was before the Maple Grove Planning Commission this week. The school district wants to add 6 classrooms, an outdoor classroom, and a new flexible gym space to the land directly south of the current school building. The playgrounds will be moved, and crews will also make drainage improvements to the playfields as part of the project. If the permits are approved, construction could begin this spring, so the new space is ready by next winter. Meanwhile, the city of Osseo moved forward this week on a project that will repair the sidewalks and crossings on Central Avenue. The project includes replacing broken pavers and installing flashing lights at 2 pedestrian crossings near City Hall. The sidewalk in front of the Steeple Point Senior Living property will also be replaced. The cost for this reconstruction is more than $500,000. The next step in the process is the design phase before construction can begin. Every once in a while, we come across amazing stories that not only impact people, but their pets too. At Midwest Animal Rescue in Brooklyn Park, there's lots of dogs with different personalities and stories. But there's one in particular that staff members say stands out. Here's Pafua Yang.
For a little scruffy 2-year-old dachshund, resilience and strength are in his DNA.
So this is Argon. He also goes by Buddy because he's a good buddy.
Camille Bates has been fostering Argon for a year and a half.
He loves complaining at me in his kennel.
The two have a special bond, one that only gets stronger as pain and sufferings increase.
He's a survivor. He is really, truly the unicorn that could.
Argon overcame parvovirus as a puppy, which is a lethal virus that attacks the intestine.
That's why it's super important to vaccinate your puppies so that if they can run around on the ground and not get that lethal virus.
The pup was adopted after healing from parvo, but was later brought back to Midwest Animal Rescue and Services in Brooklyn Park.
As he was growing, we noticed that his legs started turning, and it just kept turning and turning and turning until it was almost backwards and upside down.
Bates believes the limb deformity was a side effect from the virus. This meant another trip to the U of M, where vets discovered another issue.
While we were doing blood work for that surgery, though, we found out that he had liver issues.
Through a series of unexpected events, doctors recommended euthanizing him.
Every single time somebody possibly counts him out, he looks at them and he goes, "Nope, I'm not done."
With the help of fluids and medication, U of M vets, and community funding, Argon overcame his tough battles.
Well, I couldn't sleep at all. I probably slept 3 hours last night because I've been so excited and anxious and really just wanting to meet him.
Argon's story touched Abigail Maynard so much she immediately tried adopting him.
Being a veterinarian, I might be a good option for him since he has so many things going on.
The pup will finally get a forever home.
I did.
And the hope is that during those final goodbyes, Argon will know just how much he's been loved.
If I'm having a bad day, he's right there. And I'm gonna miss him.
In Brooklyn Park, Pafu Yang, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.